Okay, the next toy we're going to play with is called VooDoo Floss, and this is mobility wad, Kelly Starrett. You can find it at Rogue Fitness, or you can just go and take a flat bike tube and cut it down the middle, open it up, and you'll have an annoying little air nozzle hanging off the end of it, but it's free. So you choose. I do like the VooDoo Floss a little better. It's clean and has a nice elasticity to it. So what we're going to do here to try to increase our ankle dorsiflexion, I'm going to wrap this up pretty tight. So I'm going to start down on my foot using the outside bone here, that 5th metatarsal, and I'm going to come from the outside first. So I'm coming from the inside, outside, and then wrapping up the middle. So coming like this, medial to lateral, pulling up a little bit on the inside there. I really want to affect those medial tendons. Once I get toward the ankle here, I'm going to let my ankle slightly relax a bit. And now pull up again and wrap around the ankle, okay? Make sure that the actual floss is flat, especially in the back. Relax the ankle, pull upward a little bit. So this is pulling from straight back, straight forward, and then wrapping down, and then coming down here halfway overlapping this last section, relaxing the ankle, pulling up, coming around, halfway overlapping this section, relaxing, pulling straight forward, coming down, halfway overlapping at the bottom of the foot, relaxing, pulling up, halfway overlapping, and you'll just repeat that all the way to the back of the ankle. I'm pulling up, relaxing the ankle, all the way to the back, coming up, halfway overlapping, and then you want to leave a little bit of extra that you can just tuck in. I can give that last little pull and then just tuck into itself so it stays. So now what I'm going to do is play with different ranges of motion, really focusing on that dorsiflexion. So be careful as you go to stand up, because if you, based on your unique anatomy, might have caught a tendon or a ligament or something that's just kind of folded over into one of the joints, you don't want to press into it and bruise the tissue. So just be careful as you move here to start. You can get into a split stance position, apply some pressure to the knee here for stability. Make sure anytime you do mobility, don't forget that you have a spine, a nervous system that needs to be protected, and you want to always be moving with diaphragmatic breathing and then get your mobility. If you're sitting here in a crappy position, mobilizing your ankle, you might be writing yourself bad checks, so those aren't things you want to be doing. So spread your toes out, put pressure into the tripod of the foot, get a nice decompression breath, and remember that nothing in the body moves straight forward and back. So when we mobilize this, it's not going to be straight forward and straight back. Dorsiflexion is not simply just an up and back motion. There's a spiraling motion like we've talked about in the push-up, how it's a spiral. Similarly here, the knee's not just going to travel straight forward, it's going to go forward and out like you're corkscrewing your leg into the floor as you mobilize. So you're going forward, twisting back, and focus primarily on weight in your heel, inside and outside ball of the foot, and rotate and corkscrew, rotating in. So get as far into that as possible and start to feel that pulling on the back of the leg here. Start to feel that pulling on the inside of the arch in there. And if you have any pinching or tendinous blocks in the front of the ankle here, kind of work in and out, find a way where you can get to that joint motion that feels no pain in the front, just a little bit of release of the tissue in the back, and you're mobilizing through it. You can go 10 times, you can build up to whatever tolerance. The big piece is don't let your foot start to have the numbness and tingling. If that happens, just take it off and start walking around. If you want to mobilize even further, you can actually get into a squat position. And remember, it's a corkscrew position. So as you're here, your knees are going out. Okay, so you're pushing into the inside-outside ball of the foot. If you already have trouble with your squat, you might not be able to get into this position, but this is one way you can do it. Another exercise we're going to do in a moment is holding a kettlebell and really loading into that position. So play with that. Even just walking around with this on can be enough motion and breaking up the articular adhesions and fibrotic adhesions in between some of the layers of fascia. Take it off and then walking afterward, you'll notice a drastic difference right away.